Hey folks, Scott from IT Rockstars here. In this week's vlog, I'm going to ask you a question about your IT or your MSP business and hopefully get you to start thinking about some of the ways that you can market your IT MSP business going forward. This also leads into a book that I recently wrote. I'll talk a little bit about that later on in the episode. Now I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible, but let's just get into it. I'm talking about opening up your mind basically to ways of marketing your IT business that you might not be aware of at the moment. That's what I wanted to do. And the whole benefit to you of this is so that you can generate more qualified leads for your MSP IT business. I found when I was doing the sales role in the MSP space, it was one of the most difficult things was generating qualified leads in the managed service space. And that is like my main sort of goal in trying to help you guys out on this channel. Really, that is the main goal out of this, is to try and generate more leads for you. So how do I plan to open your mind up to this new way of thinking potentially? Well, it starts with the story of what I was doing in regards to this was going back more than 10 years ago in the IT industry. So I'm IT manager for a large non-profit up here in Aberdeen, Scotland. 45 plus sites, 600 users, a number of Citrix servers, and a large infrastructure user base that had to be supported. And I was the guy to do it all. It was some really great fun times doing that though. I learned a lot of lessons. It was my first proper job out with any sort of desktop role. I was in sort of retail sales desktop type stuff for a retailer here, a bit like Best Buy. I was the computer guy at the time, but it was my first job. It was great fun. It was a great organization to work for. I loved it. And because it was third sector, there were maybe not so many commercial pressures. So I had time to explore. I had time to play. I had time to just learn about, everything to do from a business's perspective of how IT should work. The biggest problem I had with that though is I didn't have a great income. It was a non-profit, and I was about to get married. This is back in 2007, and I'd just taken on my first mortgage. I'd fixed the rate for 5 years on this mortgage. I know it's stupid, and we know where rates are now. I think I was paying at the time, it was 6.9% for the mortgage, and we're going down to rates at 0.25 now. So it wasn't great. I was a bit annoyed, but I needed the money. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, I did what probably a lot of you have done in the past, and that is, I started fixing friends and families' desktop systems, their laptops, just kind of going to what I already knew. That's how I got my career and my job anyway. So I started doing that, but I soon had a website. Going back in 2007, I realized I needed to somehow get this site out there, get it shown to other people. That's when I started learning about search engine optimization. It became a game for me at the time, getting to the top ranking position or on the front page of the search for particular terms related to computer repair, related to laptop repair, virus removal, all those type of residential IT terms that you would go after. And there's still a lot of people that go after those terms and it still worked really well. But unfortunately, they're just, you know this yourself if you're in the MSP space, that break-fix model is broken because there's things, well, it's just the way the market is. So, but what I learned doing that was that there were some terms, some search terms that I could rank on Google, so get to the first page or the top or near the top, that earned me more money. I realized at the time that laptop repairs, for some reason, I could charge more money for a laptop repair. The customer expected me to charge more just for the fact that it was a laptop. And that got me thinking, what other terms or what other services make me money and are easy to perform? So this is from the MSP side, this is the bit that I want you to think about. What is the service or product that you offer your current customers, your current clients, that is easy to perform, that is highly profitable for you, in the example that I've given you, the term that I found was laptop screen repair. That was like the golden keyword for me, because a laptop at the time, a replacement screen was about $40–50. And the repair itself, I could charge $100–150 pounds, however you want to put it, wherever you're listening from, and it was 15 minutes of work, and I would get that cash. So I ranked top for that term. I went national with that term. I bought a domain name called laptopscreenrepair.co.uk, and I had this sort of little national thing going for a while. I soon got out the break fix. You kind of go through that learning process, especially in the residential market, and then going into the MSP. So I did the technical side for the MSP. I worked for an MSP, and then I went into the sales side. I've been doing the sales side for 3 years. So I had all this knowledge in my head, from the break fix days, and how can it be applied to the MSP space? And it can be very easily applied to the MSP space. And that's why I've written this new book. It's called Bear Attack SEO for Managed Service Providers. Now, the Kindle version is only $9.99 on Amazon, and it's coming up to that time of year again where you might have a bit of spare time, Christmas, and you may have some sales targets that you'd like to fulfill in 2019. Well, this book is going to help you generate more leads online using search engine optimization, and it's specifically for managed service providers. Now, it's SEO, but it's search marketing. It is just marketing. You'll find a lot of digital marketing agencies no longer use SEO, and the reason they do it is it's a bit of a dirty word. It's not, though. It works, and that's why they stopped using it. Actually, you'll find that the SEO side of things isn't usually talked about, but it works. And the reason it works is because when there is a potential customer searching for your service or product online, you can be in front of that customer at the right time in the buying cycle, and that is when they're actually looking for you. You can't do that with any other form of marketing online. So hopefully that's opened up your mind a little bit in regards to having to think about what your most profitable service is, and the type of terms that you maybe want to start thinking about when you're building blogs. Anyway, I will see you in the next show, folks. Hope you liked this one. If you are not subscribed yet, subscribe, give me a thumbs up and all that stuff. See you later.